Oh, thank goodness it's Friday. I am officially done work for the week, which means for the next 2 days, my time is my own. And you may be thinking, Abby, it's Friday night. Why are you in your PJs? And why have you just taken a shower and look like a drowned rat? Because clearly, from the vibes that we get from your videos, you are a party girl and just a real party animal. And I know I give off that vibe. But I'm about to shock you. I'm staying in. Like I do every Friday night. I am in no way a partier. I have never been to a single party in my life, and I have no desire to go to one. We're not gonna break a perfect record. You know, here I am, and here you are with me. And my plan is to just bring you along with my hopefully very bookish weekend. And yes, I am in my PJs because it's Friday night and I have nowhere to be. Is it only like 5:30? Yes. Don't judge me. So there are a few non-bookish things that I do have to do this weekend. Number one, date night with my gorgeous, handsome, kind, wonderful husband. 2, dinner with friends tomorrow night. 3, go to church Sunday morning. Other than that, my time is my own, you know? And so I was thinking, what a perfect opportunity to have a nice bookish weekend. So here's my plan. Tonight is date night, but not until 8 o'clock. So from now until 8 o'clock, I am going to be reading. I'm going to make some tea. I'm going to get in my comfy chair. Maybe put a sweater on. I don't know. I'll see if the mood strikes. And I'm going to sit and I'm going to read my book. And I'm very excited about it. I also thought, as a little fun experiment, because this weekend I don't really have that much going on and I can just focus on reading, I'm interested to see how many pages I actually get through in a weekend. Because I'm not the fastest reader in the world. You know, I would say I'm average, maybe slightly above average, but I just spend a lot of time reading. So I'm intrigued to see how many pages I actually get done in a weekend. So at the end of every day, starting today, which is Friday, I will check in at the end of every day to let you know how many pages I have read. And then by the end of the weekend, we'll have a final tally. That's a fun little experiment, isn't it? My idea of fun on a Friday night and others, I can tell, are vastly different. So come along with me on a cozy, bookish weekend. If anybody needs me, this is where you can find me. Good morning. Happy Saturday. It is my favorite day of the week. Matthew and I really try to prioritize rest and relaxation on Saturdays. Obviously, life still happens, so we have a few things that we have to do, but we do really try to at least prioritize Saturday mornings as a time to sleep in and relax, have quality time together. So coffee, pancakes, that sort of thing. And that is part of why it's my favorite day of the week. However, life still goes on, so we have a couple things that we need to do today. Number one is we need to go to the library and have a little study date. Matthew has a few exams coming up that he needs to study for, so we are going to go and spend a couple of hours in my favorite place, the library, so that he can get some studying done and I can return a book, Red Rising, finally finished it, really good, and keep reading my next pick, which is Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Really enjoying this too. It's been a long time since I have laughed while reading a book, which is totally my fault. I'm reading really intense or sad books right now. And you know what? That's not the vibe that we're going for. So this one is really fun and I'm having a grand old time. So for the next couple hours at the library, I'm going to be reading Mate and just having a chill, bookish time in the library. And then we'll come back home and we do have to go out for dinner tonight. But then after that, I will be back reading my book. So we will see how many pages I get in today. So yeah, let's go to the library, shall we? Hello. I am back from church. I have had lunch and it is officially Sunday afternoon. Yesterday was wonderful and we went to the library and I managed to get a lot of reading done yesterday. So I am very close to being finished this book. This was not the plan for this weekend, by the way. I was not like, I'm going to read a book in this weekend. No. I really thought that I would be doing other things. But this has been, so far, a wonderful book. The banter was bantering. I'm also really enjoying the couple in this book. So while the story is maybe like, obviously there's werewolves, it's very far-fetched. So the fact that I was about to say the story is far-fetched is like, obviously, of course it's far-fetched. But the story's a little weird, but I am thoroughly enjoying this. So I'll let you know like my fully final thoughts when I am done. But yeah, I'm just having a great reading weekend. This is so great. So for the rest of the day, all I have to do is go grocery shopping and make dinner. The rest of the time is for me to do with as I please. So I'm gonna go change into comfy clothes. I'm gonna go take this makeup off of my face because I just wanna be, bye, now that she's gone. So I'm gonna change into comfy clothes and I'm gonna take this makeup off my face and I might go read in bed for a bit because it's Sunday afternoon and I have no rules. The only rule in my house is that we get to relax on a Sunday afternoon. So who knows? I'll probably finish this book. Maybe I'll pick up the next one, which I haven't decided on yet. And maybe I'll take a Sunday afternoon nappy nap. The world is my oyster. A really great reading weekend for me. I'm very excited. And I just feel like after the reading slump that I have been in, this is exactly the weekend that I needed, where I just got to prioritize reading a book that is just like fun and light and lovey and wonderful and a little ridiculous. And I just am loving it. So it's really brought the joy back into me, despite the fact that it's the middle of March and there's still snow outside. Canada's so fun. Yeah, so I'm gonna go change into my default form, which is Gremlin, and continue on with this wonderful, wonderful weekend that I am having. Right. As I suspected, I read for a little bit and then I did fall asleep. So I am now back in the land of the living, ready to take on the rest of this cozy day. However, first, I must venture out into the cold and into the elements to forage food for my family, i.e., going grocery shopping. But worry not, because I am going to be listening to an audiobook so that I can still get some pages in while perusing the produce, as they say. But then I will be back to read once more. But I am very close to finishing Mate. And then maybe while I am also listening to my audiobook, which is still Wuthering Heights, I only have 3 days to finish it. So like I really gotta finish this. While I'm listening to Wuthering Heights, maybe I will think about which book to pick up next. I am between 4. One is a library book that I do really want to read. And then the other 3 are the ones that I picked for my physical TBR in the month of March. If I don't read a single book for my physical TBR, are you guys going to be mad at me? I don't know. So I will do some thinking. I'll do some soul searching. What a successful reading weekend it was. I don't remember the last time that I have felt the want to read so often. And that has just been such a breath of fresh air after what feels like such a long reading slump. All I wanted to do this past weekend was read. So I read a lot more than I thought I was going to read. So let's do a quick recap, shall we? I managed to pretty much read the entirety of Ali Hazelwood's Mate. And I think that this book is better than the first one, personally. I had a great time. Sometimes I just want a bit of a mindless romance situation. And if it has werewolves, then even better. I had a whale of a time reading this book. It was a little spicy. And honestly, the spice was not for me. I was just sort of like, moving on. I'm the type of person to get really excited over a slow burn where like I will be kicking my feet and squealing if the couple like holds hands for the first time, hugs for the first time. Like kissing, I don't care. Spice, I really don't care. I just like the slow burn to like the hugging and the holding hands and the long lingering eye contact. Oh, be still my beating heart, you know? I can't handle it. So yeah, the spice was a little for me, and I just sort of like skimmed and moved on with my life. But I really loved the characters in this book. The way that Ali Hazelwood writes is so different than any other author that I have read. And granted, I've only read Bride and Mate by Ali Hazelwood, and I haven't read any of her like STEM stories. I'm not really super into that, but I do really appreciate like how into the details and into the nitty-gritty she gets into the science behind werewolves, vampires, all of that. I just like nerd out a little bit. The way that she describes how they feel towards one another in a way that just feels like so like on a molecular level. Let me see if I can find this quote. One of the things I really love is the little snippets of Cohen's sort of POV and his inner thoughts at the beginning of each chapter. And this line really encapsulates what I mean when I say that the way Ali Hazelwood writes is just different than any other author that I have read before, because this is the line. This is the line that had me kicking my feet, squealing, melting into a puddle like I couldn't. It's literally one line and I'm so ridiculous. Okay. Her laughter adjusts the spin of his atoms. Stop, because I'm actually going to cry. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I will give you my final rating of this book when I do my final update at the end of the month. That's usually how I give my ratings now. But oh my gosh, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. It is exactly what I needed. I don't think I'm going to read any of her other books. I'm a fantasy girly and I have no interest in anything STEM related. Sorry, I'm an art student. But thoroughly enjoyed this book, exactly what I needed. And one more thing I will say about this book, the banter was bantering. I was cackling sometimes, just going like, oh my goodness, the banter was so good. Not only between her and Cohen, but the relationship that she has with Misery and just like the unhinged things that they say, because their humor is so dark, really funny. And it was so nice to just laugh, you know? So when I finished, surprisingly, Mate by Ellie Hazelwood, I still had time. I still had time in my weekend. So I was umming and ahhing about what do I want to read next? I have my physical TBR picks for the month of March, but I'm not really in the mood for any of those. I still want to laugh. Enter the Thursday Murder Club. I waited for months to get this book, okay? And listen, my physical TBR will be here. It will be here. It's not going anywhere. The library books cannot wait. The library waits for no one. I decided to pick this up and I managed to get about 45-ish pages in. Hilarious. I love a dry sense of humor, self-deprecating, and the idea of just old people wreaking havoc. Like, I'm taking notes for retirement, you know? Like, this is the vibe of when I retire, when I'm 80 plus. This is what I want to do. Really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far. And again, I'm not super far in, but I just really wanted to keep on the more like lighthearted, sarcastic, bantery humor that has continued to pull me out of this reading slump. So this was the other book that I picked up this weekend. Finally, because oh my goodness, what a weekend I had. I also really locked in to the Wuthering Heights audiobook on Sunday. I went grocery shopping. I made dinner. And so I am so close to being done this book. I am so close. I listened to from 71% to 82% on Sunday. And oh my goodness, what a slog this has been. But I literally only have 2 more days to finish this audiobook. So I am locking in, okay? I am laser focused on finishing this. So this was the third and final book that I dug into over the weekend. Now let's get into the numbers, shall we? This is very exciting. I did math and I double checked it. I did not get Matthew to check it. So if it's wrong, it's still his fault. The final page count for this weekend, the number of pages that I read was 520. Oh my gosh, the slump is over. Long may the books reign. I am so excited, okay? We had a wonderful, gorgeous bookish weekend, and I feel very accomplished, but also very like chill. You know, my head is just full of stories and it's swelling around, and I'm just in like on cloud 9. I am on the bookish cloud 9. Thank you so much for spending this weekend with me. This was my first real like vlogging experience. So apologies for some of the angles. I'm still learning. Apologies for some of the lighting. But it was also just a fun little learning experience for me, learning how to vlog for the first time. So if you have any input, if you have any comments or questions or book recommendations, please, 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 please leave me a comment. Go to my Instagram and message me there. I always, always, always want to talk books with you. So my DMs are always open if you want to chat books. So this has been my first cozy weekend blog. The first of many, I hope. If you like this format. I hope that wherever you are, the weather is warming up and that spring is finally coming around. So that's it from me this week. Until next time, I hope your book is good and I hope you have unhinged opinions about them. I'll talk to you next week. Bye. Good head scratches. Those good head scratches. I love you. I love you. I do. You're my favorite puppy dog.